Hi guys, it's me, Karen, of Karen's Intuitive Jewelry. I had a special request from a subscriber to do a wire wrap using a heart-shaped stone. This is a malachite, really beautiful. And oh, look at my new nail polish. It's called lapis lazuli. Isn't it cool? Of course, I saw these on, I think it was Facebook or Instagram. I'm like, oh, they're named after crystals, and they really do look like lapis. So I had to get a couple, and I'm experimenting with them. That's why I only have my thumbs done. Anyway, we're going to be using 21 gauge square gold-plated dead soft copper wire from Parawire, and then the 21 gauge gold half round. And I'm going to, I always start with straightening the wire out a little bit. I've seen people be obsessive about how straight their wire is, and that's just not that important to me because it's going to get wonked out from manipulating it. So why worry about trying to get it like pinned straight now? It just anyway, okay, I digress. I'm going to do 9 inches. Okay. And I will get these ready off camera so we don't waste screen time. All right, so these are about 9 inches in length. And now I'm going to take the half round, making sure, pardon me, that I have the flat side down, and just bend it in half to give it a start. Pinching the back part of this with my thumb as well, keeping this nice and tight, and then making sure you always have the flat side down and your wraps are staying close together, and just keep going. Smush that together, making sure that's laying flat. Then we'll flip it over, because with square or half round, you can't really work off a spool and go this way because it will get all twisted. And probably the biggest challenge for me when I started learning working with the half round was keeping it straight, because it would just want to twist. Drove me crazy. I can't tell you how many times I'd ruin a piece. So that's why you keep it kind of in between your fingers, and you can feel it if it starts to want to twist. And you don't have to be afraid to even use your Nylon Jaw pliers and pinch it and just straighten it. Then you can really tell. But you still have to kind of be mindful and paying attention that these wires aren't also starting to twist. So I apologize, but I tried 2 different what they called beginner's wraps, wire wrap for a heart shape, and I did not like how they came out. So this is my 3rd attempt, and it's really a basic wire wrap that you would normally do a teardrop or an oval. It's just going to be slightly modified for the shape, but it's basically the same thing. And I'll show you, as I already did one, and in fact I've kept this in my personal stash because I love it so much. This is the design I'm going to attempt to reproduce it's also with a malachite, and it turned out so well. I even added a cute little charm to it. I just love it. To me, it's what I would say darling. Added some accent beads, a couple swirls. So this is what I'm attempting to do. We'll see how close I come, because I know I oftentimes talk to you guys about I don't worry about copywriting infringement issues, because as mighty as I might try to replicate another artist's design, I don't come close, so they don't ever have to worry about it. But okay, so I just check it to see if it's gonna be a deep enough V, and I think so based on this last one. I think it'll be good. This is a little bit thicker, this cabochon. And in fact, the other cab that I was playing with was this one, but once I got the actual design of this beginner's wrap, I noticed, because it wasn't looking symmetrical, and indeed this is cut not symmetrical. I don't know if you can even tell it in here, but this is a much smaller rounded edge. This side is much fatter, so it really didn't look right at all. And I thought maybe that was part of what was happening, and I took this stone out of the other design and put this one in, as I still wasn't happy with it. So that's that. Okay, so with the half round, whatever side of the base wires, so I'm going to cut this off here and make sure that doesn't go flying. So it'll be on this side. So when I end the other side, I want it on the same side as the base wires, because then this area is going to be the inside, which will be flat up against the stone, if you follow me. So we will trim this here. Push these down a little. I'm not going to really smush them hard yet, because I want to make sure it's in the center, and this side looks significantly longer. And you all know I may do some measuring, but it's not, I don't live and die by true measurements, and maybe that's wrong, but it just stresses me out. So let's see. Yep, so these are 9 inches. That's good. The center would be about 4.5, so we're pretty close with that. I may scoot it just a tad further down this way before I flatten this part. And I first like to do it with the Nylon Jaw, and then I come back with my tweezer nose and give it a good smushing. Not that it can still move, but it won't move as much. Okay, then we have to make sure where the ends of that half round are, and so that's going to be the inside. And my theory on making these V's is I don't ever get it right in the center, because you have to remember there's like a millimeter or so, it's not going to be right. So I find the center, and then I off-center it just slightly, and then bend this. Now, because this is a thick stone, I don't want to overbend it and then have to back off some, but it can go a little bit more. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, and then there's basically bringing it around like we would any normal stone till we're kind of in the center. Give it a little bend with your thumb, trying to keep this point in there. Make sure these are laying flat. bring it around the curves of the heart and approximately where your center is. So something like that, right? That works for me. Okay. And you can just make sure everything's laying flat. Then we'll get the half round out again. And we're going to wrap it up around here. Making sure these are laying flat, because see how they're twisting over? That would be a pain if I wrapped this bail and these were not lying side by side like that. Same with this side, making sure. Try not to pinch it too hard. That's always me. I'm always got the death grip on things. I don't know why, but I am. So I'm trying to get a little bit softer hand. And going back to this again, make sure you've got your down side. Give it a pre-bend. Hold this part with the back finger. And then not super tight, but tight enough. Go around a couple times. And then I like to bring it up through the center, like that, and give it a good pull. Smush these a little bit, and give it a look. Make sure the wires are laying flat, because for whatever reason they do like to. Okay, that's good. Let's have a look. See that this isn't bent quite right. And that's because these moved up a little. So I'm going to help this bend out a little bit so that I can push that down. That looks better. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go around the bunch. Actually, I'm going to straighten this before we move on, because I can already tell it's thinking about turning. I'm going to give this 1 or 2 more wraps at the base, pushing it down. Then I'm going to find my wires. And I may have to do that off camera because I can't see. Like, let's see. This, I think, is the left side. This is the front right, and it can be a little tricky because you've got now 6 wires. What can help, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. You've got 6 wires bundled, so. But I know here's another little trick, like this right side was a tad longer. So even though this shorter wire looks like it's over there, it's not, it's part of this bundle. So see what I mean? It can be a little tricky, and that's why sometimes I have to put my magnifying glasses on and really learn to keep these things straight. And that was turned, okay. So, these are the fronts. And these are the backs. And I'm going to kind of push them out of the way. These 2 center ones are going to be my bail. And when we're wrapping these with the half round, we again want to make sure they're lying pretty close together and continue our wrap. And the first couple are a little challenging because you want to get them flat. You want them to lay down in there nicely. Right? And then make sure it doesn't twist and that these don't turn the wrong way. So even though I wouldn't consider this a beginner's pendant, it's easier to me than the other two that were marked as beginners because they're, I don't know, I'll be happy to share those with you and you can give it a try. It's not that it was hard, I just wasn't thrilled with the actual design when it was finished. Okay, I'm going to finish this, do about an inch worth of this wrapping, and that'll be for the bail. Now that I'm getting ready to end this, this is the front, because here's the little tab for where I was wrapping that, and I always bring that out so that I can cover all that with the decoration. So when you're ending this part of the bail, I like to put it on the back because this will be bent forward and then turned to the back. So you want to give it a little push down everything, right? You want to make sure that's laying flat. And then we come in here and we trim that off. Push that down slightly, not real hard. Again, when I flatten, I like to first flatten with my Nylon Jaw pliers. Make sure they're kind of laying nice. And then I can go back and smush it better. That's a real technical term, smush. With my needle nose. Okay, let me trim this off. Keep it from flying. I'm going to secure the stone now. So that fits in there nicely. You go to the back. I use my fingernail to find that very back one and just bend it in a little. Go to this side, find it with your nail, bend it in a little. Same thing with the front. I like to use my nail because I have a tendency to be too rough and then kind of mar the stone or the wire even. You can scratch the stone or the wire. Okay, and then I'm going to come down here and do a more serious bend over the top so that the stone is not coming out. And this side and bend up, push down. Give this a little. Make it more straight. Okay, there's that. And then these were the front. I'm going to pull them over to this side. This is the back ones. Now we're going to make our bail. Push it forward a little bit. I usually just use my hands and thumb to shape it like this. Then you can push the tails through the center. Kind of squeeze it down like that. Find your wires on which side they are. And you can either use your hand to bend it up and around. Right? that. We're going to cut and tuck these pieces in the back. Again, catch your wire that it doesn't go flying. And then we just take the end, give it a little twist into that open spot in here. And you see that? And then we'll do that on this side. And just bend it in. Pinch it down on the inside. Come around the front and see if you can, well, we're going to cover them up, but I try to keep things symmetrical as much as I can. Okay, so basically the stone's in there, not going anywhere. It's nice and secure. You just make sure this middle wire sits on the edge of the stone. Helps keep things nice and secure. The back, if you need to make any adjustments, you can. Looks good to me. Push things down. That's what's so great about Dead Soft. It's very malleable. Okay, so this is just all going to be design, and I like to straighten my wires first. And I really like the look of a twisted wire. So I'm going to twist these two. And with square wire, you can do that and get a really lovely effect. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And let's see, do I want anything else twisted? I think I'll just twist these two longer ones so they'll be on the same side. And where's my little beads? Taking these two wires, trying to keep them somewhat together and bring them over top of the bail. In kind of a circular pattern. Something like that. Trim that off. And I design on the fly, so I never know what I'm going to do exactly. And sometimes I might try something and I don't like it, and so it doesn't happen. So I'm just doing some design stuff. Yours will be different than mine. I'm sure. This, I think I'll make the swirl happen up top and fit it in side. And again, with making these kind of little swirls, I used to pinch the living daylights out of these, and they'd get all marred, and I'd not be happy, and I'd beat myself up over it. So go gentle. Be gentle. You can always get rougher if needed, but your first go around, try to be a little bit more gentle with things. Okay, now these are going to come around like this, and I think I'm going to put some beads on here. And And I'm thinking of these cute little charms, maybe just one, not sure. Neither one of them might make it into the design, but we'll certainly try. Now I think, let's see, do we have some different sizes? I think I want to do the bigger ones at the top. So will 3 be enough for the top? No, 4. That gets us around the corner. And we'll do, do we have any in between sizes? I think we only have the big and then the little. One more. I'll have to put a jump ring on this. Let's see. I like that. Looks cute. Key's cute too, but I like the flower. Okay, let me get a jump ring. Let me put this little jump ring. I got a little bitty one. I would say it's probably a 4mm. And you know how to open these, right? You twist them. Put that little thing. Now I got to keep in mind it's only textured on the one side. That's why I'm putting the jump ring on first. Right, to make sure I get this on right, and that's kind of what that will look like. I'm going to tighten this spiral up. Okay, a couple more little beads. Oh boy, sorry guys. Okay, but we need that last one, because this is just going to go wrap right around the back there. And then everything just shifted. What happened? These move down. Okay, cut this off and tuck it in. pinch so things don't move. Okay, that looks good. Then this one can either go on top or behind. That'll look good. And again, just push it around. Give it a little snip. And holding that down with my index finger, I twist that around nice and tight and give it a little squeeze so that everything stays in place. And we can adjust everything if it got wonked out, which sometimes it does. It's normal. I'm not happy with that. Bring that up here more. And there it is. So let's compare this one to the one I did before. Similar, but not exact. See what I mean? So nobody could ever get me on infringement. I did something different with these wires than this was. Did a little different here, similar. But there will always be a slight difference. That's why they say one of a kind. Okay, guys, I hope you like it. I like it. Now I'll put this one up for sale and still keep this one. Although I really like that little flower. It's really cute. Okay, till next time. Thanks for the suggestion. Bye. Like and subscribe.